When the dark human warship entered the alien star system, no one understood what was happening. The ship moved slowly, without any lights, without any radio signal, and without any sign of life. It looked like a giant metal shadow cutting through the empty space. Every alien on the patrol station felt their skin tighten with fear, because only one species in the galaxy built ships this huge and this dangerous. Humanity. For years, stories about humans had spread across many worlds. Stories about their strength, their anger, their impossible victories. Some believed humans were monsters. Some believed they were saviors. But one thing was always the same. Whenever a human warship appeared, something big was going to happen. Inside the alien control station, Commander Relf watched the screen with cold eyes. His hands shook, even though he tried hard to hide it. The screen showed the human ship drifting in complete silence. No engines burning. No weapons active. It just floated like a dead thing, yet something about it felt alive. Relf ordered his team to send a warning signal. "Unknown vessel, identify yourself," his officer repeated again and again. But the human ship did not reply. It did not move. It simply hovered near the 6th planet of the system, as if observing everything, or waiting for something. The silence became heavier with each minute. Relf had seen hundreds of ships in his career, but never one that felt like this. The human warship was not just large. It was intimidating. Thick armor plates covered its hull, and long weapon towers pointed in all directions. Even powered down, it looked like a beast that could wake at any moment and destroy everything. A junior officer whispered, "Commander, why are they not responding? Humans always send identification." Relf did not answer. He had the same question burning in his mind. Something was wrong. Very wrong. Then a soft beep echoed across the control room. One of the sensors picked up movement. "Commander, the front hangar of the human ship is opening." Every alien froze. A ship opening its doors meant only one thing: something was coming out. The hangar door unfolded slowly, like the mouth of a sleeping giant. Darkness poured out from inside, thicker than the space around it. Relf held his breath. He expected fighters, drones, or human soldiers. But instead, a small object floated out. Round, metallic, spinning slightly. Relf zoomed the camera. It was a distress beacon. A human distress beacon. The room fell silent again. Distress beacons were only released in extreme emergencies, when everything else had failed. The beacon flashed a red light and began transmitting a message. The audio came through the speakers, crackling, broken, but still understandable. A robotic repeating voice said, "We are not alone on this ship. We are not alone on this ship. We are not alone on this ship." Every alien stared at the message in confusion and fear. Not alone. What did that mean? Where were the humans? What else was inside that giant warship? Relf felt his mouth go dry. If humans were calling for help, then the danger must be beyond anything his people had seen. He ordered a scan, but the scanners returned nothing useful. The warship's hull was too thick. They couldn't detect any life signs. They couldn't see inside. They were blind. The beacon continued repeating its message, one slow beat after another. Something strange happened next. The human ship suddenly rotated a few degrees, like something inside had pushed it, or like the ship had reacted on its own. But its engines were still offline. Relf stared at the screen, his heart pounding fast. There was no logical explanation. Human ships did not move without control. "What if something else is controlling it?" an officer whispered. Relf did not respond. Because deep inside, he feared that the officer might be right. The distress message hinted at it. Something had entered the ship, something the humans could not fight. The lights on the beacon flickered. The voice changed tone for one moment, as if something interfered with the transmission. The message repeated again, but the last word stretched unnaturally. "We are not alone on this ship." A cold chill passed through every alien listening. Relf clenched his hands. He made a decision no one expected. "Prepare a boarding team," he ordered. "We must go inside that ship." His officers looked at him with wide eyes. Boarding a silent human warship was almost suicide. But Relf knew they had no choice. If something dangerous was inside that ship, it could spread. It could destroy the entire system. Maybe even the galaxy. The boarding shuttle was prepared. A group of armed soldiers gathered, their armor shining under the hangar lights. None of them spoke. What was there to say? They all felt the same fear. They all knew they were entering a place humans themselves could not control. As the shuttle launched, Relf watched from the window. The dark warship grew larger and larger as they approached. Its size blocked the stars. It felt like flying toward the open mouth of a beast. The shuttle entered through the same hangar where the beacon had come from. The interior was dark and silent. No bodies. No debris. No signs of a fight. Only cold metal walls and long corridors disappearing into darkness. Relf stepped out first. His boots echoed loudly. Too loudly. He raised his flashlight and felt his heartbeat stop for a moment. Long scratches covered the metal walls. Deep scratches. Something had clawed through the steel. He heard a faint sound far down the hallway. A soft metallic click, like something crawling slowly across the ship. The human distress beacon still echoed behind them. "We are not alone on this ship." Relf finally understood the message. The humans were not warning the galaxy about themselves. They were warning the galaxy about something else. Something that was still inside the ship, and now listening to them. The metallic click echoed again, louder this time, coming from somewhere deep inside the human warship. Commander Relf signaled the boarding team to stay close. Every step they took made the ship groan, as if it were alive. The air was cold, colder than the void outside, and the smell of burned circuits lingered faintly, like smoke from a long-dead fire. Relf raised his flashlight higher. The beam cut through darkness, showing long corridors lined with strange machinery. Screens blinked weakly, then went dark. Panels hung open, wires spilling like metal vines. Every shadow seemed to move. Every sound seemed alive. One of the soldiers whispered, "Commander, do you hear that?" Relf nodded. "I hear it. Stay alert. Whatever made this ship silent, it's still here." They walked further, reaching a junction where the corridor split into 3 directions. On the walls, deep scratches ran across the metal like angry marks. Some were fresh. Others were old. Whoever, or whatever, had left them, had been here for a long time. Then came the sound of movement, closer now. Something slid along the floor, fast, silent, impossible. The soldiers raised their weapons, lights flickering over the shadows. But there was nothing there. Nothing visible. Relf took a deep breath. "Keep moving. Stay together. Don't fire unless you have to." The team moved down the central corridor. The lights above flickered again, casting short flashes on the walls. Relf's flashlight caught a small figure up ahead, huddled in a corner, shaking, covered in blood and grime. It was a human. The soldier ran forward to help, and the figure looked up. Eyes wide with terror, pupils black as void. You shouldn't be here," the human whispered. "It's still alive. It's in the ship. It took everyone else." Relf crouched slightly, trying to calm the human. "Who took them? What's alive?" The human shook his head violently. I don't know what to call it. It came from the artifact. We thought it was safe, but it's not human, not anything we know. It moves through the walls, the metal. It listens. It learns." The soldier behind Relf swallowed hard. "Commander, did he say it learns?" Relf nodded. "Yes. And if it's learning, we are already late." The human led them down another passage, deeper into the ship. They passed empty cryopods, each one open, empty. Machines beeped weakly, signaling death or abandonment. Relth realized the entire crew had vanished, leaving only one survivor. And whatever remained on the ship was still hunting. A low, whispering sound began, almost like voices echoing through the metal. The human soldier froze. "It's coming. I can hear it inside the walls." The walls trembled slightly. Metal plates bent inward, as if something pressed against them. Relth felt a chill run down his spine. He had faced dangerous species before, weapons and monsters, but never something invisible. Something that could hide and strike without warning. Suddenly, a loud screech echoed through the corridor. The sound was high-pitched, unnatural, like nails dragged across steel and glass at the same time. The team raised their weapons, firing blindly into the darkness. Bullets hit metal, sparks flying, but nothing visible moved. The human soldier screamed. "Stop! It learns. It sees movement. Firing alerts it." Relth froze. The ship felt alive around them, breathing with a cold rhythm. The scratches on the walls seemed to grow longer with every second. Every shadow flickered unnaturally, and the echoing screeches bounced from all directions. The human whispered urgently, "The artifact, it released it. We activated it by accident. Everyone else, they didn't survive. You need to leave. Go back now before it senses you fully." Relth shook his head. "We cannot leave. If this thing leaves the ship, it will destroy the system. Maybe more. We are the only ones who can stop it." A shadow moved fast across the far wall, too quick for the eye to follow. A low hiss filled the corridor, like air escaping under high pressure. Soldiers fired again, but the creature did not stop. It seemed to vanish into the walls, only to appear behind them with a metallic screech. Relth grabbed the human soldier. "Lead us to the bridge. If we can take control, maybe we can trap it." They ran through the corridors, lights flickering, alarms buzzing softly. Every step echoed like thunder. Behind them, the hissing and scratching grew louder. The team realized the creature was everywhere at once. Moving in the walls, the floors, the ceilings. It had no form they could recognize, no face, no body. Only movement, only sound, only death. Finally, they reached a massive door, the bridge. Relth saw the control panels flickering weakly. Some displays showed star maps. Others showed the ship's interior, empty corridors, empty cryopods, and flickering lights. The ship was dying slowly, systems failing. The human whispered again, trembling. "It's learning how the ship works. Soon, it will control everything. We have only a few minutes." Relth looked at the team. Fear was in their eyes, but so was determination. They had no choice. To survive, and to save the galaxy, they would have to face this invisible nightmare. A metallic click sounded behind them again. Relth's heart sank. The creature was closer now, inside the bridge, waiting, watching, listening. And then, a new sound joined the clicking. A voice, distorted, mechanical, almost human, echoed through the corridor. "We are not alone on this ship." The message repeated once, twice, and then the lights went out completely. Darkness swallowed them all. Darkness filled the bridge, but the sound of movement never stopped. The creature was close, too close. The human soldier's breathing was loud, ragged, and full of fear. Relth could hear it echo through the corridors, bouncing off metal walls, a rhythm like a heartbeat he could not see. Suddenly, the lights flickered back on. The bridge glowed with weak emergency lighting, casting long shadows across the room. Panels displayed strange, half-functional systems. The star maps showed the alien system outside, planets spinning slowly, peaceful as ever, completely unaware of the nightmare inside this one ship. Relth scanned the room. Empty cryopods lined the walls, and wires hung from the ceiling. Something had moved through the ship before them, leaving destruction in its wake. Then he saw it. On one of the consoles, a figure crouched, trembling, barely able to stand. It was a human. The human looked up, eyes wide and bloodshot. You have to leave. It's not human. It's alive in the metal." It watches everything. It took the others. His voice broke. The crew, they didn't make it. Relf stepped closer. Tell me what happened. We need every detail if we are going to stop it. The human swallowed hard, then began to speak, his voice shaking. We found an artifact. An ancient thing, hidden deep in a planet's core. It was supposed to be safe. We were told it could help humanity advance. But when we brought it aboard, it woke something. Something that should not exist. It's made of nothing, and yet it touches everything. It learns. It grows. It kills. The soldiers listened, silent. They had expected aliens, pirates, weapons, but not this. A creature made of void, a living absence inside metal, an enemy that could hide anywhere. Reltha's mind raced. How do we stop it? The human shook his head. We tried. We tried to trap it in the engine core. We failed. It knows how to survive. It can't be killed easily. And it takes what it wants. His voice lowered to a whisper. I barely escaped. The others, they weren't so lucky. A faint scratching noise echoed across the bridge. It was closer now, almost behind them. Relf signaled the soldiers to spread out, weapons raised. Every panel, every shadow, every dark corner seemed to move. Then, suddenly, the creature struck. It appeared briefly, visible only for a flash, a metallic shimmer in the corner of the room. One soldier screamed as the creature lunged at him, passing through his armor like it was air. The man fell, wide-eyed, frozen, unharmed, but terrified beyond belief. Relf yelled, Hold your ground. Don't let it see fear. The human soldier pointed at the artifact, now glowing faintly on a nearby console. It came from that. We have to contain it. We have to use the artifact to trap it before it learns more. Relf moved closer. Explain how. The human gestured frantically. There's a chamber in the engine core. It's a containment field. If we can lure it there, we can activate the artifact to trap it again. But it's smart. It won't go easily. Relf nodded. Then we make it go. All of us. Together. The team prepared to move. Relf, the human survivor, and the soldiers stepped cautiously toward the corridor leading to the engine core. The lights flickered again, shadows twisting. The metallic clicking echoed closer and closer, as if the ship itself were alive, breathing around them. As they moved, they passed more empty pods, wires ripped from walls, and signs of struggle. The human explained quietly, the crew tried to fight it. They thought they could control it. They were wrong. We all made mistakes. Reltha's grip on his weapon tightened. We will not fail. We are not alone. Another screech erupted from the walls, louder this time. The creature was learning their movements. It began to anticipate them, striking in places they had not even reached. The soldiers fired, but the bullets hit nothing. The creature was faster, invisible, and always a step ahead. Then, unexpectedly, the human soldier fell forward, pointing. Look. The core chamber. The engine room door loomed ahead, glowing faintly with emergency lights. It was massive, reinforced, and covered in warning symbols. The human soldier explained, this is where we can trap it. But once we enter, there's no turning back. The field only works from inside. We have to lure it here ourselves. Relf glanced at his team. Fear was in their eyes, but so was resolve. They had faced death before, but never like this. A creature that could hide in metal, in walls, in shadows. One that could learn and adapt. Relf took a deep breath. We go in. We do this together. For humanity. For the galaxy. The doors began to open. The faint hum of the containment field activated as they stepped closer. Shadows moved in the corners, metallic whispers echoing. The creature was aware now. It had sensed them fully. The human whispered again, voice trembling. It knows we are coming. It will try to stop us. Be ready. It will strike. And it will learn from every move. Reltha's jaw tightened. Then we move faster than it can learn. The team entered the engine core chamber. The doors closed behind them with a heavy thud. The containment field flickered, waiting for activation. Every shadow in the room seemed to twist and writhe. The metallic clicking was all around them. Relth looked at the human soldier. "Are you ready?" The human nodded, gripping the artifact tightly. "It's now or never." The creature let out a low, metallic screech, echoing through the chamber. It had come for them. And the hunt had begun. Outside the human warship, the alien fleet waited, tense and alert. Commander Reltha's voice came through the comms. "We have entered the ship. The creature is inside. We cannot fight it from space. We need to understand what it is before it escapes." The aliens did not fully understand the danger. They had heard the warnings, the reports of humans and their strange, powerful machines, but this was different. This was something beyond weapons and shields, a living void that could move through walls and metal, invisible until it wanted to be seen. Inside the ship, Reltha's team moved through the corridors, weapons ready. Every shadow flickered as if it had a life of its own. The human soldier led them, guiding them through the dark passages. "It is learning," he whispered. "Every sound, every movement, it remembers. Don't make sudden moves. Don't make mistakes." A metallic screech echoed nearby. Something moved along the walls, invisible, fast, smart. The soldiers froze. Bullets fired automatically at the sound, but they hit nothing. Sparks flew from the walls where the shots landed. Reltha's mind raced. "We cannot kill it. We have to trap it. Follow the human soldier. The core chamber is ahead." Suddenly, a section of the corridor twisted and bent. The walls shimmered as if liquid metal flowed beneath the surface. From that shifting darkness, a creature emerged, part metal, part shadow, and all wrong. Its form was impossible to comprehend. Limbs bent at strange angles. Its face, if it had a face, it was hidden behind flickering metal, with eyes that seemed to exist only in reflections. One of the alien ships outside suddenly reported alarms. "Commander, we detect movement. Something has entered the fleet. It's outside the ship." Relth froze. The creature could leave the human warship. It could spread across the alien fleet. Panic gripped the soldiers, but Relth held his ground. "We stay focused. We complete the mission inside the ship first. Then we deal with anything outside." Inside, the creature moved faster than thought. It slithered along walls, passed through floors, and vanished into the shadows. It hissed and clicked, a sound like metal grinding against metal. Every corridor they passed seemed to stretch endlessly, confusing their senses. The human soldier whispered urgently, "It's learning the ship. If it reaches the hangar, it will escape into space. We must trap it now." Relth nodded. "We move. Keep together. Every step counts." The team reached the engine core chamber. The doors were reinforced, the artifact ready to activate the containment field. The human soldier set the device down carefully, wires and lights glowing. The field hummed, waiting. Outside, the alien commander watched in horror as the creature approached one of the fleet's ships. It passed through the hull as if it were air, ripping open the interior. Alarms blared across the fleet. This was no normal attack. Nothing in their history could prepare them for this. Inside the human warship, the creature sensed the trap. It hissed, a sharp metallic scream that echoed through the chamber. Its form shimmered, growing larger, more twisted, more dangerous. Every wall in the room seemed alive, and the team realized it could attack from any direction. Relth barked orders. "Activate the field. Lure it here. Move." The creature lunged, faster than thought. Soldiers fired, the human soldier moved the artifact into position, and the chamber hummed as energy built up around the core. Shadows twisted violently as the void creature resisted. Sparks flew. Metal groaned. Lights flickered on and off. Then, for a moment, everything froze. The creature hesitated. It seemed to study the chamber, calculating, analyzing. It lunged one last time, then the artifact activated fully. A bright energy field surrounded the engine core. The creature shrieked, metallic and unnatural, as its form was trapped inside the glowing cage. Inside the chamber, the team collapsed, exhausted. They watched as the energy field pulsed, holding the creature in place. The human soldier whispered, "It's trapped for now. But it's not gone. It will find another way." Outside, the alien fleet watched in disbelief. They had never seen anything like it. Ships that had been attacked were damaged but still intact. The threat had been contained, but the galaxy had been shown a glimpse of something far more dangerous than any war or weapon. Relf turned to his team. "We did it. But we cannot celebrate. This is only the beginning. Whatever this is, it is patient, it is smart, and it will come again. Humanity, and all of us, we need to be ready." The human soldier nodded. "We survived because we worked together. Humans, aliens, together. That is the only way we will survive the next time." Relf looked out at the stars beyond the hangar. The galaxy was silent, unaware of the horror contained inside the human warship. But for the first time, he understood one thing clearly. Humanity was not just a species. Humanity was a wall, standing between the galaxy and something it could not even imagine. The alien commander, through the comms, spoke quietly. "Relf, we underestimated you. We underestimated humans. You are not a threat. You are a shield." Relf nodded silently, feeling the weight of those words. The warship loomed behind him, dark and quiet, holding its secrets, its horrors, and its strength. The creature was trapped, but the galaxy had trembled. And it would remember the day the humans entered the system, and the galaxy fell silent in fear. The human soldier touched the artifact one last time, whispering, "We are not alone, and it will return." Relf felt a chill. The creature was learning. And one day, the galaxy might face it again. The alien fleet hovered in the outer system, but the danger was far from over. The creature had been trapped in the human warship's core chamber, but the energy required to hold it there was enormous. Relf and his team could feel the ship shudder under the strain. Sparks flew from exposed conduits, warning lights flashed in irregular patterns, and the hum of the artifact grew louder, almost like a heartbeat. The human soldier stood beside Relf, gripping the glowing artifact. "The field is holding it, but the reactor is unstable. If the core fails, the creature could escape, not just into the ship, but into the entire system. Hyperspace jumps, other ships, everything. It would spread like a plague." Relfa's eyes widened. "We cannot let that happen. We have to stabilize it, or destroy the ship entirely." The soldiers looked around nervously. Every corridor groaned and vibrated. Metal twisted as if the ship itself were alive, struggling against the containment field. One of the soldiers asked, "Commander, what happens if we overload the core?" Relf hesitated. He understood the cost. If we overload it, the creature will be destroyed, but the ship will be gone. And the blast could damage nearby planets. This system may not survive intact. The human soldier swallowed hard. "We have no other choice. The containment won't last long. It's already learning how to break free. We need to act now." Relf nodded. "Then we split into 2 teams. One stabilizes the field, one prepares the overload. Everyone ready." The soldiers and human moved with tense precision. They had no time for fear. Every second counted. Sparks flew from the walls, and the ship trembled violently, sending a shiver through the corridors. The alien commander's voice came through the comms. "Relf, we can provide support from the fleet. But be careful. Any mistake could end everything." Relfa's jaw tightened. "We know. Prepare to evacuate survivors, but the mission stays ours. Inside the core chamber, the human soldier adjusted the artifact, humming with energy. The containment field pulsed brighter, showing the shape of the creature trapped inside. For a moment, it was visible, a twisting mass of metal and shadow, limbs bending at impossible angles, glowing eyes that seemed to burn into reality. It thrashed violently, testing the strength of the field, letting out a sound like metal tearing itself apart. Relth shouted over the noise. Team B, start preparing the overload. The soldiers ran to the control panels, setting timers, routing power to the core. Every movement made the ship shake violently. Warnings flashed in red across every screen. The creature screamed, metallic and unnatural, but could not break the energy cage. Yet, the human soldier turned to Relth, eyes wide with fear and determination. If we do this, we may not make it out alive. The energy surge will be enormous. We have to stay inside until the trigger is complete. Reltha's hand rested on the console. We have no other choice. The galaxy is counting on us. We cannot fail. Outside, the alien fleet watched in silence. Some ships tried to maintain orbit, shields up, ready for anything. They had never seen a human warship in such crisis. And they had never seen a human risk so much to contain a threat no one could understand. Inside the chamber, the creature thrashed harder, pulsing energy against the containment. Sparks flew from the walls. Metal creaked and bent. The alarms blared in a chorus of warning. Every second felt like an eternity. Reltha's eyes scanned the creature. It's learning faster than expected. We must speed up the overload. The human soldier adjusted the artifact, energy flaring, wires glowing bright. Almost there. Just a few more seconds. The creature screamed, a horrible metallic sound that reverberated through the ship. Its limbs bent in impossible angles. It tried to reach out, to touch the energy barrier, to escape. Then the overload sequence began. Lights flashed white-hot. Sparks flew in every direction. The ship trembled as if ready to break apart. The artifact pulsed, sending waves of energy through the core. The creature shrieked, twisting violently, but the field held. Relth shouted over the chaos. Prepare to evacuate. All teams, move. The soldiers and the human soldier ran through the corridors as the ship shuddered violently. Metal groaned and sparks flew. The core glowed brighter, ready to explode. Outside, the alien fleet felt the pulse of energy, a wave of power that could be felt across the system. Ships rocked slightly in the void. The galaxy trembled in silence. Inside, Relth looked at the human soldier. This is it. The last step. The human nodded, gripping the artifact. We either contain it, or we end it, with the ship. The countdown hit 0. Energy surged. The ship shook violently. Lights flashed white. The containment field pulsed, holding the creature. The sound of metal tearing and energy roaring filled the corridors. Then silence. The core had detonated, contained within the energy field. The creature screamed one last time, caught in a cage of energy. The ship survived, barely, but the overload had damaged much of the interior. The alien fleet watched in awe. The humans had done what no one else could. Reltha's chest heaved. The team was battered but alive. The human soldier lowered the artifact, exhausted. It's done for now. Relth looked at the stars outside. The system was quiet again, but only for a moment. The creature was trapped, but it had survived in memory, in the artifact, in every shadow it had touched. And one day, it might return. He whispered quietly, "We saved the galaxy, but at a cost. And the galaxy will remember the day humanity stood against the darkness." The human warship shuddered under the strain of the containment field. Sparks flew from the walls, and the corridors creaked like they were about to collapse. The creature, trapped in the core chamber, thrashed violently, its metallic limbs bending in impossible angles, straining against the energy cage. Relf and his team entered the core chamber once more. The human soldier adjusted the artifact, but the energy readings were unstable. "It's learning faster than we expected," he whispered. "If the field fails, it will escape, and the galaxy won't survive another encounter." Relf looked at the human soldier. "Then we finish this now. No mistakes. No hesitation." The soldiers raised their weapons, but they were useless against something that could move through walls and metal. Only the containment field, and a human willing to act, could stop it. A loud metallic screech echoed through the chamber. The creature was aware. It was studying them, learning their every movement. Its glowing eyes seemed to pierce the walls, the ceiling, and even the floors. It was impossible to tell where it would strike next. Relf turned to the team. "We split into 2 groups. I will stay to activate the manual ignition of the core if the field fails. The rest of you evacuate immediately. Get to the escape pods." A young soldier hesitated. "Commander, you can't." Relf shook his head. "If I do not stay, this ship could fail. The containment will break, and the creature will escape. Someone has to finish this." The soldiers looked at him with wide eyes, but no one argued further. They knew the stakes. They knew the galaxy depended on this moment. The human soldier stepped closer to Relf. "I will stay with you. The artifact must be monitored until the last second." Relf nodded. "Then we do this together." The rest of the team ran toward the escape pods, hearts pounding. The corridors shook with each pulse of the containment field. Sparks flew from broken panels, and the air was thick with the smell of overheated metal. Inside the core chamber, Relf and the human soldier prepared for the final act. The field was pulsing violently, energy readings spiking and dropping in chaotic patterns. The creature shrieked, metallic and unnatural, lashing against the barrier. Relf gritted his teeth. "Activate the manual ignition. Now." The human soldier pressed the controls. The artifact glowed brighter, energy surging into the core. The creature screamed, thrashing violently. Its body twisted in impossible ways, limbs bending and reforming. It tried to escape, but the energy field held, just barely. The chamber shook violently. Sparks flew in every direction. Metal groaned as if the ship itself were alive, struggling against the force inside. The creature shrieked again, a sound that echoed through every corridor, through every wall, through the very bones of the ship. Relfa's hands moved swiftly over the controls. "Hold the field. Do not let it break." The human soldier gritted his teeth, holding the artifact steady. "I'm holding it. It's resisting, but we can do this." Outside, the alien fleet watched, powerless. They could see the energy surging through the ship. The readings were extreme. If the field failed, the system would be lost. Inside, the creature's screams grew louder, more intense. Its body shimmered with metallic energy, twisting and bending. For a moment, it seemed unstoppable. Then, slowly, the containment field began to stabilize. The artifact pulsed with a steady glow, locking the creature in place. Relf exhaled. "It's working. Keep holding it." The creature thrashed one last time, then seemed to collapse inward, confined within the energy cage. The chamber went silent, except for the hum of the artifact and the ship's failing systems. Relf looked at the human soldier. Both of them were bruised, battered, exhausted, but alive. The creature was trapped. The mission had succeeded. Relfa's comms crackled. The alien commander's voice came through. "Relf, you did it. The creature is contained. The system is safe. You have saved millions of lives." Relf nodded silently, looking at the glowing cage holding the creature. "This is only the beginning. It may return. We have to be ready." The human soldier touched the artifact one last time. "We survived because we worked together. Humans, aliens, together. That is how the galaxy survives." The core chamber hummed softly, the creature trapped and powerless. Sparks still flew from broken panels, but the immediate danger was over. Ralph knew, however, that the galaxy would never forget this day. Humanity had proven itself, not as a threat, but as a shield. As they exited the chamber, Ralph looked at the stars beyond the hangar. The galaxy was quiet, unaware of the horror contained within the human warship. But he knew the truth: the void was patient, and the creature was learning. Ralph whispered quietly, more to himself than anyone else, "We saved the galaxy, but we will have to fight again." The human soldier nodded, exhausted but determined. "And next time, we will be ready." Outside, the alien fleet observed in awe. Ships had been damaged, alarms had sounded, but the humans had contained a threat unlike anything anyone had ever seen. Commander Reltha's words echoed across the comms: "Humanity is not just a species. Humanity is a wall." And today, that wall held the galaxy together. The stars beyond twinkled silently, and the human warship floated dark and quiet, holding its secrets, its horrors, and its strength. The galaxy had trembled, and humanity had shown its true power. But somewhere deep inside the containment field, the creature waited. It was learning. And it would return. The human warship floated silently in the empty star system. Outside, the alien fleet hovered, scanning the ship, unsure what to make of what had happened. The creature was trapped in the core chamber, contained by the artifact and the energy field. But the galaxy had changed. Something unimaginable had been unleashed, and then held back, by humanity. Commander Relth walked slowly through the corridors, exhausted but alert. The ship was battered. Sparks still flew from exposed conduits. Panels were broken, alarms continued to flash weakly, and the hum of the artifact filled the air. Every corner reminded him of the horror they had faced. The creature had been smart, fast, deadly, and terrifying. The human soldier walked beside him. "We did it," he said quietly, almost in disbelief. "We trapped it. For now." Relth nodded. "Yes, for now. But it's learning. The galaxy needs to know what is coming. We cannot underestimate it next time." The alien commander's voice came through the comms. "Relth, humanity has saved us all. Your courage, your strength, your discipline. You are not a threat. You are a shield." Relth exhaled slowly. "Thank you. But a shield must always stand ready." The survivors gathered in the hangar. Soldiers, humans, and alien observers alike stared at the stars outside. The galaxy looked peaceful, calm, unaware of the terror that had been contained. But everyone there knew the truth. Humanity had proven itself, not as conquerors, but as protectors. One young soldier approached Relth. "Commander, what happens now? The ship, the artifact, the creature." Relth looked at the containment chamber, where the creature writhed slowly, unable to escape. "The creature will remain trapped, for now. But we cannot rely on luck. Humanity, and all of us, must prepare. One day, it will try again. And when it does, we must be ready to face it together." The human soldier touched the artifact lightly. "We survived because we worked together. Humans and aliens. That is how the galaxy survives." Relth nodded. "Yes. Together. The galaxy is bigger than any one species. And today, we proved that cooperation can hold back even the impossible." Outside the ship, the alien fleet slowly relaxed. The damage had been severe, but their systems were intact. They began to offer repairs, assistance, and supplies. The humans worked silently, grateful but focused. There was no celebration. There could be no celebration, not yet. The threat was contained, but the knowledge that it existed remained. Relth walked to the main observation deck. The stars stretched endlessly before him. The planets of the system spun slowly, unaware of the terror that had almost consumed them. He felt a chill as he looked at the dark expanse of space. Somewhere, in the shadows of the galaxy, the void waited. Patient. Watching. Learning. The human soldier stood beside him. "Do you think it will ever return?" Ralph didn't answer at first. He stared into the black, then whispered, "It will. And when it does, the galaxy will need walls stronger than any weapon, stronger than any fleet. Walls built of courage, of cooperation, of humanity." A faint signal echoed across the ship's sensors. A small beacon, drifting in space. Its message repeated slowly. "We are not alone. The void is not dead. It watches. It waits." Ralph's eyes narrowed. The galaxy has survived today. But the darkness is patient. The human soldier clenched his fists. "Then we prepare. Next time, we will not just survive, we will win." Ralph nodded silently. Humanity had been tested, and it had held. Not through fear, not through aggression, but through resilience and courage. That was the strength of humans. A species that could face impossible odds and still stand as a shield for the galaxy. The alien commander spoke through the comms again. "Ralph, the Council will recognize humanity now. You are no longer just a species in the stars. You are guardians." Ralph allowed himself a small, rare smile. "Guardians, yes. But vigilance is endless. The galaxy is wide, and the void is patient." The human soldier looked at the beacon drifting in space. Its red light pulsed softly, repeating its ominous warning. "We thought it was over. But it's only the beginning." Ralph turned back to the stars. The human warship floated quietly, dark and powerful, holding its secrets and its strength. The artifact rested in its chamber, humming faintly, containing the impossible. Humanity had proven itself. The galaxy had trembled and survived. But somewhere, far away, the void waited. It had learned. It had watched. And one day, it would return. The stars stretched endlessly, silent yet full of danger. The galaxy had survived today. But the story was far from over. And the humans, humanity, would be there, standing between the galaxy and the darkness, a wall of courage, strength, and determination. And as the final echoes of the beacon faded, one truth became clear. The galaxy was never truly safe. And humanity was never truly alone.